What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Homesteading Off the Grid and whatever the heck this channel's about. Sorry I didn't do the creepy eyeball thing there at the beginning of the video. I'll do it for you later, promise. And by the way, I've got a hands-free device thing here, holding my hands-free device. So here's what's going on today. We're taking a bit of a road trip. That's why we're in the truck. I've got a buddy that lives several miles down the road from me, as the road goes. But now, as far as the distance, if you were to just cut across the mountains or through the woods, it's actually only about 1.5 miles. I just got to loop around the hills quite a ways here by road. It's somebody that I've known since before. I mean, I was doing YouTube when I met him. It's probably about 5 years or so ago. He's one of the first people I met out here. But we weren't big. Nobody really knew who we were. We hadn't gone viral yet, and YouTube wasn't suggesting our videos to folks. So I'd known the guy for about 1.5 or 2 years, and then I ran into him, and he comes up to me laughing. He's like, dude, he's like, YouTube is recommending your videos to me. And I'm like, yeah, I know, man. They're recommending, them to millions of people around the world. Isn't that awesome? He's like, dude, he goes, you're a genius. I'm like, huh? He goes, at first, I just thought you figured out a way to, like, make money on social media, getting people to watch you do yard work. And I'm like, huh? He goes, yeah, you, like, set up your camera and act like, there's something there and there's not. He goes, dude, you're, like, I thought you were just a dumb hillbilly from West Virginia, but you're, like, one of the smartest people I've probably ever met. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. And we got on to something else. Saw him maybe a year later. I mean, this has kind of been an evolving situation. He saw me, he says, dude, you know what? He goes, every now and then I watch your YouTube videos. I mean, they pop up all the time because I guess I've clicked on a few, and I usually ignore them. He says, but I've been watching a little more lately, and what it was a video titled, he discovers the lair of Bigfoot Sasquatch, and is made loud and clear he's not welcome. He saw that one. He says, I saw something moving behind you down there over the hill. Was that like one of your friends? How did that happen? I was like, no, dude. I said, I don't know. I said, when the viewers started pointing that out to me with timestamps, I went back and I saw it for the first time, and I've said this before in other videos, the flesh on it got goosebumps, the hair stood up on my arms, seeing how close I was to that thing. All right, fast forward now, like a year or so ago. He's like, dude, I don't even watch your videos anymore. I'm like, why? And he says, they creep me out. I'm getting paranoid. They don't burn wood for heat in their home, but they have campfires, in the evenings, because they live out here, God's country like me. He's like, every time I go to split firewood or work on my firewood, I feel like something's watching me. There's been times I've turned around real quick, seen something moving out of the corner of my eyes. Now I'm laughing at him. I'm like, just don't watch the videos, dude, whatever. So me and my son, 2 days ago, were passing football out front of the house there. He comes by. He stops. He's like, man, I got to ask a favor. I'm like, what? He goes, I think whatever you have comes to my place too, where I have something similar. He says, I have not split firewood this winter, and I'm not going to. He says, could you possibly come out and do whatever it is you do to see if you can pick something up on camera, to see if you get the same gut feeling that I do? I'm like, you're kidding me. I said, here you are. So many years ago, you said you were convinced I was some sort of genius that figured out a way to get paid to do, get people to watch me do my yard work. And now you're convinced you potentially have a Bigfoot Sasquatch in the woods surrounding your house, coming around to watch you do your firewood. And he goes, yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, that's it. I said, all right. I said, look, let me, get caught up on some stuff I got going on. I said, I'll come up. Here's what I'm going to do. I said, how about I come up, I set up the camera, and I just load my truck with, some of your firewood, make it look like nothing's going on. I'll take it down, drive it down the road, turn around, come back, give it back to you, then I'll see if me or my viewers see anything in the camera. He's like, man, if you're willing to come up, see what I've got going on, and check this stuff out, you can have the wood. He says, I don't care if you fill your entire truck. Take as much as you want. He says, I just got to know, dude, is there something out there in the woods around my house, or am I going going crazy because I've watched too many Crazy Lake videos. And but either I was like, okay, look, let's get to the bottom of it. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm almost there. I'm gonna set the camera up in the truck. I'll give you that creepy eyeball thing so many of you like to see the video start with. A lot of folks say it's just too creepy. Whatever, it's my thing, dude. You know? So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to throw wood in the truck. I didn't bring any blue rectangles, no red circles, no green arrows, because if this is the same one or ones, thems, him, her, its, or theys that are around my place, which I could easily see happening. I mean, bears will travel like a 5-mile circle every 2 or 3 days in search of food. Why wouldn't these things do anything differently? But I don't want them to know that we're onto them. If I come up there with all the awesome tools for my totally awesome potential Bigfoot Sasquatch field research kit, which, by the way, you can purchase yourself from our Etsy store. The link is in the description box below. And while you're there, get some of my beautiful bride dearly, aka Giggly Girl's Delicious Lumpia, and one of at least Etsy's best-selling books. Any of the ones I've written there, I'll autograph them for you before I send them out. What was I talking about for this shameless self-promotion? Oh, didn't bring any tools because I don't want to give anything away. I want it to look like if the thing that sees me recognizes me, I don't want them to think we're onto them. So that's what we're doing. Sorry for the 6.5 minute and still going long version of what we're doing today. So I'm not going to talk. I'm going to do my best not to wig out and act paranoid. If I sense something up there, if I see something around my eyes, I'm going to do my best not to do that. I want to simply look like a man loading a bunch of firewood in his truck and then driving away. And but now here's where you come in handy. You have got to get my 6. If you believe you see him, her, it, or they, you've got to timestamp it. Let's get everybody involved. Go to the spot in the film, and let's go from there. All right, so here we go. A little bit of on the road field research, Bigfoot Sasquatch, potential Bigfoot Sasquatch field research for today. Get my 6. Told ya. All right, I said I wasn't going to talk, but I got to say it because I know this is going to piss off the haters. This is some really well seasoned red oak. There's no ifs about it. I heard footsteps and then definitive tree knocks. Straight back, watch and listen. You knew I wouldn't be able to make a video and not talk anyway, brah. I already got news from my buddy. I think you know what that news is. Getting a warning and a return call from palliated woodpeckers. But I took the footsteps and the earlier tree knocks as warning enough. same vibes I get at my place. Well, I think we got the answer we were looking for. Though it's probably not the answer my buddy's gonna want. Well, that only took about 10 minutes and a half a truckload of firewood to find out that my buddy, it's just going slower because it's got wood in it. He's not gonna like my findings. You know, I don't think he has any idea how close his property actually is to the potential lair of Bigfoot Sasquatch. That video he watched that terrified him, if he knew how close to his property that particular patch of woods is, you cut the roads out, don't take the road, but if you just walk straight through the woods, I'll tell you this much. I mentioned if you go straight through the woods from my place to his, it's about 1.5 miles to 2 miles, because it's probably 4 or 5 miles on the road. Well, let me tell you, that potential lair of Bigfoot Sasquatch, the video he watched that caused him to stop watching my videos, that place is 3/4 of a mile away at most from his place. I didn't necessarily realize that until I got a good look at the lay of the land up there. Started thinking, but well, I did my job. Now I'm just going to ask all y'all to do yours. By this point in the video, you should have already done it. If you also heard those footprints or those footsteps, it is still 28 degrees out there. As bright and sunny as it is, it's cold. If you heard the footsteps, if you heard the tree knocks, and I'm starting to wonder if those palliated woodpeckers we heard are even palliated woodpeckers at all. So let me know your thoughts. Thanks for being with me here for another video from Homesteading Off the Grid. Of course, today of which was about just getting back out in the field and doing some field research as requested by a friend. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to like what we found. See you next time for more. It's my best best effort for how I usually do things.